Thank you for joining us. I'm Lindsay. This is Leah, and we're doing some gentle yoga today. I'll invite you to start in ragdoll. Top of your mat, feet about, pretty wide here today, out toward the edges of your mat. And then just drape down, big old bend in your knees if you need it. Let's give our head just a gentle sway side to side. And then just to come into stillness for a big breath in. And a really long exhale. Feel free to press play on the playlist now, to put your phone on silent. And to just come into your practice. We come to our mats time and time again. It's a repetition. And we know what we practice, we become. And so we practice all these good things on the mat here today. Noticing what good things you want to practice. What can you set as your intention? What is this yoga repetition for today? Here at Power Life, the class that I've taken the most of are Power Ones. It's the same flow every single time. That's kind of cool because you can see how it lands differently within you every time you do it. But I like to take a little bit of a gentler version of the Power One. And so, in the spirit of repetition, we will do a Power One, but in a really nice kind of sultry way. We'll Linzify it. Can I use my name like that? Okay. Take an exhale with me. As we breathe in, gentle sunflowers to the right. Take your time, bend into your knees if you need. A big old back bend at the top. And as we exhale, we'll just come out and around to the left. Let's take one more this way, fully folding at the end of each exhale. Two in the opposite direction. Noticing how your spine is just bending in all these different ways, letting it kind of twist when you dive out and over to the right. And fully relax at the end, almost like a cat back. Standing forward fold. Feet come in. Let's treat this like a posture because it is. We normally fly right by it. Take a moment, just tether your ankles into your hands. Look between your shins. And I don't know how much you're feeling here, but I feel a lot. It's almost like a really dense rubber band down my whole backside. And just notice, because we'll come into this posture later, and you might feel a little bit of difference after we've repeated some salutations. Take a breath out. Breathe in mountain pose. Very slowly. There's no rush in gentle yoga. And exhale, mini back bend at the top. Breathe in mountain. Breath out, forward fold. Nice pace, Leah. Let's take a halfway lift. Inhale, please. And exhale to fully relax into your fold. Again, inhale, mountain, slow. Here's a change. Exhale, side bend to the right. Breathe in, mountain. Breath out, a side bend to the left. Inhale, mountain, Tadasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Breathe in, halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. Breathe in, mountain, last of sun A. Let's exhale, vertical twist. Look over your right shoulder. Breathe in, mountain. Exhale, vertical twist. Breathe in, mountain. Exhale, fold very slowly. Breathe in, halfway lift. And exhale, plank. Breathe from your knees or from your toes. And then wherever you are, let's just press into all 10 fingertips and make our armpits a little bit more hollow. Drop your booty right in line with your knees and your shoulders so it feels like a plank or a board. There's no arc back of the tailbone. Let's breathe in together. Breathe out slowly, lower all the way to your mat. Interlace your hands behind your back, please. Breathe in, full bound locust pose. Continue to breathe. Now this is a hard one, I think. The closer you take your wrists, the more you might feel on your chest. Pull your knuckles toward your toes. Breathe in. And breath out, disintegrate. Take your hands underneath your shoulders. Breathe in, table pose. And then exhale, child's pose. We'll just come back for a brief moment just to check in, to hear that hum of breath right next to you. Feel your low back open after that bound locust. Perhaps even feeling some of that blood flow and that expansiveness there now. Please breathe out with me. Breathe in, rise toward table. Prepare for downward dog on your exhale. Ooh, and just take a beat here to stretch. Satchitananda was a very wise yogi. And in his interpretation of the Yoga Sutras, these thousands of years old ways of living, in his translation of them, he says that repetition is so valuable. The more we read scriptures, the more we repeat things that are meaningful, the more we know about them. We kind of uncover these layers every single time. New things, we see them in a deeper way, maybe in a newer way. We absorb them into ourselves. And so this practice, it might not be like this huge revelation here today. Maybe it might be. But think about it as kind of like that wire brush, and you're scrubbing those grout lines that are dirty. And over many, many repetition, you'll start to polish and shine what needs to be cleaned, bringing new light. Take your right leg high, please. Stretch, bend, open, and then exhale, low lunge. Instead of holding our low lunge here, I always just straighten my front leg a little bit, press back, and then dip in. So let's take a few of these. And you're welcome to make this any sort of movement that you want. So if you want to shake your tailbone from side to side, you'll figure out what's right for you. Great. Fortify your low lunge, back knee up and buoyant. Take a breath out. As you breathe in, warrior two. First, straighten your front leg. Ooh, do you hear that pop? And then come into it. How are we feeling? Good. You could take up as much mat space as you need. It's your mat, yes. And then for a little gentler version, I like palms up, perhaps Gyan Mudra with my thumb and a forefinger together. Now on your next breath in, straighten your leg. As you exhale, come into extended side angle. Breathe here. So many people think they're just stuck in that lunge the entire time. It's really no contest, right? We need new blood flow to come into these spaces, all that oxygen that you're taking in right now. On your exhale, straighten your leg a little or a lot. Inhale, reverse warrior. Last stop on this side. Continue your breath. Pull your left hip back. Oh, and when I actually mechanically do that with my hand, I can feel that in this other hip. Perfect. Breathe in, straighten your front leg, and exhale, low lunge. Breathe in, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Just take 3 breaths here. Let's elevate our left foot together. Up, stretch. Exhale, low lunge. And just pause and find some movement that feels good. I'm going to call this like a sultry power one. I'm just going to find that water quality in that investigation here. Find a fortified low lunge now. Belly works independently of front thigh. Exhale. Breathe in, warrior 2. Pause to breathe. Open up nice and wide. Remember, palms up, just to feel that kind of freedom there within your shoulders. They cascade down your back. On your next breath in, just straighten your front leg. Exhale, extended side angle. Breathe. And you might benefit from just a point of your right toe up a little bit more toward the top of the mat. So it doesn't, yeah, your right toe, actually. There we go. Yeah, very nice. On your exhale, straighten your leg a little or a lot. Inhale, reverse warrior. Last stop here. And make sure those breath repetitions are just constant and smooth. I can feel a little bit of that work. I can feel a little bit of that heat now. Breathe in. Breath out, low lunge. Breathe in, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now we'll just take that on repeat 2 times breath to movement. And Leah has a very different breath cadence than I do. So I'll cue you, but maybe you'll notice that she'll go a hair bit slower than I will. So just, go at your own pace too. Breathe in, take your right leg up and back. Exhale, low lunge. We'll skip the stretches now. Breathe in, warrior 2. Exhale, extended side angle. Breathe in, reverse warrior. And exhale, low lunge. You can take the whole breath to get there for some core. Breathe in, plank or table. And exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in, elevate your left foot nice and high. Exhale, low lunge all the way through. Breathe in, warrior 2. Exhale, extended side angle. Breathe in, reverse. And breath out, low lunge. Take your time now. Breathe in, plank or table. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot lifts up. Exhale, lunge. Breathe in, warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. Breathe in, reverse. Notice how the layers kind of peel away. You might feel differently than the first time. Exhale, low lunge. Breathe in, plank. Breath out, dog. Breathe in, left leg stretch. Breath out, lunge. Breathe in, warrior two, Virabhadrasana. Fun to say. Exhale, extended side angle. Breathe in, reverse. And breath out, low lunge. Breathe in, plank. Breath out, down and dog. Breathe in, look forward. And breath out, yogi squat. So instead of crow, which we usually do in power one, let's take a nice yogi squat. And guess what? Your home practice is your home practice. So if you would rather take crow, you are more than welcome to. Let's just find a little bit of stretching here if you're here with me. Again, there's no right or wrong. You can put your hands on the floor. Some people even like to do like a little bind here or something so that they have a little bit of leverage to twist. So just investigating your hips. And noticing if that intention is still with you before we carry on to the next part of our practice. How you doing? Good? Awesome. I could never rock that ponytail. I love that. Oh, to be 17. Okay, let's come into our ragdoll again. Forward fold, and just notice if anything's changed. Perhaps those repetitive sort of rituals of sun salutations have done something to awaken you, something to soothe you. I know I really needed this yoga today. And I can almost even just tell in my breath and in my mental space that it's helped. Breathe in, halfway lift. Breath out, downward dog. Let's deepen. Breathe in, right leg up. Breath out, low lunge. As you breathe in, crescent or crescent moon is how I make it gentle every single time. If you see me in a power one, I will not be up with everybody else. I will be down here. Let's take this a little bit further today. You could be good there, or to deepen, fingertips to earth, and perhaps to bend your back knee and to feel in. Yeah, it's not going to be for everybody, but I feel like it gives me a really, really nice stretch through the front side of my left leg. 2 more breaths here. Looking for just a gentle sensation. Perfect. Bring your pelvic bowl back slightly so your knee is right above your ankle. Inhale, arms high, palms match. Exhale, hands to heart. Breathe in, lean forward. And exhale, revolved crescent moon. Pause and breathe here. My favorite option here is to just extend my bottom arm and take my back hand to my sacrum. Two more big belly breaths. Let's inhale together. And breathe out, runner's lunge. Sneak your front foot up, 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 up. And let's just take our back knee back in space. Chin can fall in towards your voice box. And just notice if you've chosen to listen to the playlist, it's all chanting. Chanting is meaningful, repetitive noise. There's an intention behind it. It's the same reason why in meditation we focus on one object for an extended period of time, because it deepens our understanding and the relationship with the intention. Now, not all repetition is meaningful. In fact, in my house, we're working on not asking the same question over and over again, not harassing people, right, by saying the same thing over and over again if it's not of good intention. You grew up with a brother, you know what I'm talking about. Rewind back onto your palms. Take your back knee right underneath your hip joint here. So you'll need to walk it in. Take all of your weight into your left hand. Breathe in, table. And as we exhale, we'll just open up to side plank, modified side plank with our knee down. I like the quad stretch here, or you could have your top leg down like Leah, which can be really, really nice for the outer hip. Breathe in, reach a little higher, open your chest. Exhale, table. Breathe in, plank. Breath out, downward dog. Breathe in, left leg high. Breath out, lunge. Breathe in, crescent moon. And you know all your options, so I'll let you set yourself up right where you were on the other side. The thing we'll all have in common is just this really nice broadening of our chest forward, energy lines open. Maybe to find a little lightness or smile behind the cheeks, your temples, your brow. Let's prepare for our twist. Make sure your front knee is right above your front ankle. Safety. Breathe in, arms up. Breath out, hands to heart. Inhale, reach forward. And as you exhale, work your twist. Make sure the breath does not elude you once you get into your twist. I love how this is balanced even when my back knee is down. I can just feel, if you even like take a hand to your front ankle, it is crazy sauce. So effective, even in these gentler versions. Breath moves in the belly for 2 more breaths. Let's breathe in. Breathe out, runners lunge. Take a pause here. The more we repeat things, the better we actually get at them as well. I don't know if you've heard the statistic, but it's something like someone has to do something for 10,000 hours in order to be an expert in it. Imagine, what have you done for 10,000 hours? I know that I've come to my mat very often since I found yoga, and that I'm not an expert at it, but I do find those deeper levels of meaning. I do find new tools, new ways of thinking, of relating. And so you can feel it work, just a little notch at a time. We don't need to get to that 10,000 hour mark, right? There's nothing there for us. There's things along the way, little bits, refinement. Slowly crawl up to your hands. Let's take your back knee underneath your back hip, your right hip, and then come into table for a moment. All of your weight comes into your right hand. Kickstand your right leg out just slightly, or your foot rather. And let's just come into our side plank. Whatever version you took here, gaze is just in one spot, content where it is. Open, broaden, let these breath repetitions actually unfold you and open you. Refine the posture. Breathe in to reach a little higher. Broaden through your chest. Breath out, table. Breathe in, plank. Last time. Breath out, downward dog. Last downward dog of our practice. So just notice how you feel. Awesome. Let's drop to our knees. I'm not a huge half pigeon fan, so I thought we would do something else. Is that cool with you? If you'd like to throw in your half pigeon, because that's what we usually do in Power One, you're more than welcome to. We will actually come into figure 4 for gentle yoga today. So figure 4, and if you would like a little bit of repetitive movement here, you could just rock the baby back and forth. And to create just a little bit more sensation, you're always welcome to take your right hand and push your right knee away. That can be a great external rotator for your hip joints. And Leah, if you are not feeling this, you are more than welcome to come into something deeper like fire log. It's interesting because people think because I get to talk, I'm the yoga teacher. I'm not the yoga teacher. You're the yoga teacher, right? You know your body, you know your practice. I'm merely suggesting things that I think might be helpful. This is what I do in Power One. I don't actually listen to the teacher. I try to be very respectful, but I do my own softer version, So I understand as long as you're not bugging the person next to you, you do you. Let's switch our sides. And perhaps just rocking to and fro, letting those muscles on guard. Satchitananda goes on to say that not only must we study something like scripture over and over again to understand deeper layers of it, but that we actually don't truly understand something until we become it, right? It's that experience factor or the practice part of it. And so knowing that we are doing this practice, right? We are putting in that sweat equity. And hopefully that'll be that final piece to revealing truth in whatever regard you're looking for it. Physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, maybe all of the above. In simpler terms, it's kind of like we always think we understand what other people are going through, but until you really get there, we have no idea. No idea. Okay. When you feel even, we will come into my favorite posture of the entire day today. I woke up and I just felt like I needed this. And so we'll take a seated forward fold. And I would like you to not try it all. So at first, we're just going to be very shallow about it. Just tuck your chin in toward your chest and kind of slump forward. And if this is laborious for you, you'll want to sit up on a couple of pillows or blocks. Just start to notice how your torso naturally comes down over your legs. Tiny bit by tiny bit. And that rubber band, that tight rubber band on the back side of the body, starts to assimilate, warm, stretch. And if you need to move your arms a little bit further forward and out of the way and elongate further forward, you can adapt. Again, releasing chin. How many different places on the back side of the body can you feel that tight rubber band? If you look back towards your navel just a little more, you might even feel it through the back of your skull. As slowly as you came forward, you'll walk yourself back all the way up. Keep your gaze right on your mat space. Scoot your hips forward and bend your knees to come all the way onto your back now. We'll just take happy baby's pose. I like this repetitive sway side to side. It's just very nurturing, that water-like quality in the practice. Almost like being rocked as a child. Take your knees into your chest. Squeeze them in nice and tight. Let's take them over to the left for a twist. Arms can come to a goalpost or a T. And earlier today in my personal home practice, I had a block and I placed it right in between my legs here, just to relieve some of that tension in my low back. Can be a really nice option. When you're ready, the soles of your feet can walk back to your mat. Your knees will rainbow through the center. Then we'll just shift to the second side. Big old twist. This side is completely different. So I had my block on a different on a different size or setting on this side. Notice what you need to do. There's an old chant called So Hum. So Hum. And in yoga, we use it with the breath. On every breath in, you chant in your head, so. And on every exhale, hum. Not only do the vibrational qualities of this chant clarify us, but they also mean something pretty important. It's that I am that. I know that sounds a little silly, but it's really identifying that you are part of everything in the universe. As you come back towards Shavasana here and just make a shape that feels good, perhaps you use that simple ancient chant rather to dive you deeper into your meditation today. Breathe in and let go into your Shavasana. As you prepare to go back out into your day, just want you to be really proud of yourself for doing this discipline again. And now that you've done something on repeat that's meaningful, perhaps going back out into the world with open eyes and seeing things that you repeat that are meaningless, that might need to be edited out, because we all know what we practice, we become. So if there's anything that you are doing repetitively that does not serve you, maybe just to open your eyes and see without judgment. Breathe in. Let's stretch, smile. And as you exhale, hands over your heart. Thankful for this practice, for this community, for ourselves. Namaste. Hmm. Thank you, Leah. And thank you guys for keeping up with your home practice. I think it's one of the hardest things for people to do. So thank you so, so much. And we'll see you next week.